Okay, I think we're going live now. Let me see if we are. People should be seeing me. Oh, I got the email for it. We should be on people's feeds. We should be live. How do I even find that? Hey, there we are. We do be live. Live studio audience. my throat's a little bit groggy. Yeah, let's go into the intro. Get some Mario music to play today. We're gonna see if that's any good. Is this playing straight from my desktop? What's this playing from? Yeah, okay. I'll just give some time for everyone to come in. We're just gonna hang out, talk a bit. I said I might have some numbness. I didn't end up having any. The numbness went away pretty fast. So, that was a lie. Not really. Just didn't happen. Just checking on some things real quick and we can get going. Just wait for some people to come in here. I'm just gonna hang out for a minute, play some cool music, drink some comically large Sprite. This thing's bigger than my head. Holy crap, dude. Now, according to this YouTube channel, this is copyright free. So fingers crossed it actually is, and it's not a big lie, The last one that we played in the last stream, I did end up getting a copyright violation on that video. They said there was like no restrictions for that video, but it was hit with the copyright hammer, you could say. I don't get monetized yet, so that's a good sign. I need to be looking out for copyrighted stuff, but if it's just the live streams, I don't really bother with monetizing live streams. It should be fine. Let me just double check the audio on my phone. I just want to make sure it sounds good. I don't have anyone in chat yet, so like tell me if it's good or not. There's no one in chat, right? It's just not showing up. Live chat, all messages. Testing. Hey, how's it going? Okay, it sounds like we're doing okay. I just wanted to double check our audio. I heard somewhere all lives eventually hit with, yeah. That makes sense, especially if they play any kind of music, yeah. How's it going, Sentinel and Sleeveless? Good to have you guys here. In the community chat, I did mention that I might have some numbness, but I think it's already gone away. So we should be good. Yeah, for some reason the chat's really slow. I wonder if I have latency too low. I'll try to make my latency pretty fast so I can respond to you guys faster, but sometimes it's a give or take. Let me see if I can find a setting for it. I actually don't know if I can change the settings now that it's already live. That stinks. Oh wait, maybe? Hey, yeah, we're here. Okay. You're playing previous footage? I don't know what that means. Playing previous footage of what? Okay, yeah, let's say we do have ultra low latency on, so we should be seeing things pretty fast. Cool. We've already gotten some good interactions on the videos today. It's looking pretty good. I think a lot of the first day or so is just a lot of returning subscribers being like, hey, this looks like a good video I want to watch. Which is good. That's what I want. I want like the first day to be just pretty much people who are already subscribed. And Sleeveless, to your comment that you posted, I do want to like say 7-zip is amazing. I definitely recommend getting 7-zip. It has helped me make much faster like zips for DRFX files. The lives you can go back. So I was answering you in the past. Oh. So definitely get 7-zip because 7-zip is way better than like WinRAR, at least in my opinion. WinRAR is nice that it's free. And there's probably a few other ones out there, but 7-zip's great because you're able to like change the extension from zip to DRFX without having to go back in and then change it, then change the extension and make sure you can actually see the extensions. It's just right there. It makes it way easier. So I did say that I'm working on a secret project, but those of you who were in the stream last week, you already know what the secret project is because I showed it to you in the last stream. I just wanted to say secret project so that it's not like anybody who sees that post will immediately know what we're talking about. Just give some intrigue, you know? Give some intrigue. But I have some things to show you about it. It's gotten some cool updates. So let me switch over to this other screen. Let me pull up. Do I have the test file in here? I do. So this is a file or a folder right here that has generators, and then it has a few subfolders that hold a .setting file. Like you can have as many subfolders in here as you want, and they'll show up on the edit page panel. The folder that you want to zip is edit. You just want to right click on it, and then if you have 7-zip, do add to archive, and then it should show like this. Keep all the other settings the same. All you have to do is just like say my test effect, if I can not do so many capitals, and then .drfx, and then there you go. That becomes an installable that DaVinci will open. Hopefully that helps. I know DRFX files are not well explained anywhere in DaVinci explanation anywhere, so it definitely needs to have some form of documentation because it's not written down anywhere. Like I don't know how some people figured it out that you can actually do that. I'm not sure. Maybe there is like a. Because if you go up to help, there's like a documentation section. Fusion templates. Yeah, no, it just gives you .settings files. It doesn't actually give you a DRFX file. Yeah, that's weird. Maybe like reinstall it or something? Is it like an old version? I don't know. That's weird. Let me see. Let's do a search for DRFX. Oh yeah, there is a section in here called DRFX bundles. They do actually have documentation hidden within like 6 layers of things. Awesome. Good on Blackmagic for giving this little bit of documentation for things you need. Yeah, if you didn't know that, by the way, you can go up to help documentation and learn anything about any type of development that you can do. Workflow integrations, which is like HTML scripting, basically. Regular scripting, which is what the macro editor and enemy utility is using. We got OpenEffects, which is, I mean, it's integrated a lot of, there's a lot of OpenEffects integration already in Resolve from various places. Oh, fuck it. We got, you know, teaches you how to make LUTs. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff in here that will definitely help you learn if you need to or want to. You don't have to. This is a jam. This reminds me of the New Donk City song, is it not? Hello, that's the wrong thing. Is this not the New Donk City song? Oh, this is from Galaxy. I must think I've gotten inspiration from Galaxy songs for New Donk City. This is like one for one a New Donk City song from Mario Odyssey. If you don't know what I'm talking about. Mario Odyssey is the game. I am a big game nerd, by the way. This channel was originally a lot of gaming stuff, but a lot of that stuff's been hidden or removed because I'm like, people don't want to see that. People want to see DaVinci Resolve stuff now. That's the guy I am. That's the channel brand. Also, if you don't have 7-zip, you can use built-in compression in your computer. Yeah, the secret tool is a bit of it's a bit of a learning curve. I'm definitely gonna have to make I'm gonna make like an introduction video to it, showing off what you can make with it. But then I'm also gonna make like a properly like 20-minute walkthrough tutorial, like workflow tutorial on how to actually make it, or like make something with it, because it is a lot to do. Plus there's even more that's being worked on, so like there's a lot to be worked on. There's a lot to learn when using the tool. It looks like it may just be you right now, Sleeveless. I think we got 4 views right now. I don't know. I mean, if anyone wants to talk, feel free, but obviously you don't have to. But I will maybe be sneaking over to look at some secret project stuff. Let me make this visible. So I have been working pretty tirelessly. Next project is try and make that thing you helped me with for the other page. Oh, the thing that you're using enemy utility for? I'm thinking of somebody else that I talked to. I have a few people that I'm talking to who are really invested in the stuff I'm working on, which is great. I love that, but it's hard to keep track of who's who. The secret tool is pretty sick, but it's about to get even sicker. Sicker? Sure. So the beta was released. Masking corners with... Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, I'm glad that did work for you. The putting it over the background. That's really good that ended up working. Yeah, like Fusion is a little bit weird with sizes and frames of things. You have to do some really funny stuff to make it all work. By the way, would you guys want my opacity node that I showed off in the first tutorial for macros? Because this is great. I use this all the time, if even just for like masking stuff. Let's hide this for now. Where'd that go? Let's close that. Like, I take stuff like this all the time. So I'm not masking directly on the output or on the input right here. I like to have my opacity node and then just input a mask into this input here. Put opacity down to 0, and then you can invert it like that. It makes masking really easy, and you can like really easily tell what you're masking. Plus, of course, without the mask, it just acts as an opacity for the item, which is also really nice. Love that. Started using opacity node or the secret tool. The secret tool is a lifesaver, let me tell you. I cannot wait to get it done, not just because I want people to be using it and buying it, obviously. Opacity, yes. Opacity tool is amazing. I definitely recommend, if you haven't made it already, make it, because having one node to just mask and handle your opacity features in Fusion is a lifesaver. It's super, super nice. I don't have notifications turned off. Let me put this over here. I pulled my hair. But the secret tool also is it's also going to be a lifesaver for a lot of people, because it's a time saver for one, and it's also a headache saver, so you're not having to go into the code 24/7 to make any changes. Which anyone who is maybe watching this in the future or is watching this now and doesn't know what we're talking about, let me give you a little peek at what the macro secret tool is. Ooh. But what the secret tool is. It is a macro creator. The official name is the new macro creator. It's not necessarily been copyrighted yet, but that is what I'm calling it. And this is so far what the beta is looking like. We're gonna have here. Let me pull up a timeline or a comp that has nodes in it, so we can actually see it work in full. So you can select everything. Is this a fresh alpha divide? It is. You can select all your stuff. Make sure you have a node that's in red. That's your active node. You can launch it. Tells you what it's working on. And you can select one of the nodes, and you can even find what you're looking for, because this text, I don't know why I chose text nodes, it's so long. You can do a bulk select of your controls and add a bunch of controls in at once. And you can reorder your stuff as well. Really easily. And let's say we don't want, I don't know, we don't want size for some reason. Let's just go to size. That still works. You can still go up and down past where the size was. Which may not make a lot of sense, like, oh, but it's gone. It's technically still there. The numbers are still there. It's being ordered by some magical numbers over here in the magical abyss at the end of the rainbow, but yeah, it can do a lot of cool stuff. You can change your default min max center point. If you have a point value in here, like center or a pivot center right here, you can have X and Y. If you make a label and you have like arrow and you're hiding like, I don't know, 14, you can add that label in there and it's just bam, like that. You can rename that afterwards. You can make it open or closed. You can change the amount that you put in there. You can make it a hider. You can make it a nest. Pretty cool stuff. In the future, I'm also going to be adding a few other options to change different things and different things. It would be nice to have the combo boxes. I do. So, the combo boxes are going to be worked on. To a degree. I won't be necessarily able to make the combo boxes just because I'm trying to like reduce the clutter over here. There's already a lot of stuff happening over here, and I don't want to like make a bunch of things too small or make a bunch of things like, you know, have to make multiple layers of. It's just going to be too much. I did package in Tita's QMap editor, which allows you to add controls to whatever node is selected in red, which is really handy, which is really nice. So what I want to be able to do is read the controls that you're selecting from over here, besides just like slider values. Like if we were to go to in and out curve, we have ease in and ease out right here. It does not give you the drop down options. It does not tell you what is in that drop down and what is like selected. I want to be able to give you the option to like click a single button, maybe up here next to controls editor, that's like edit selected control or something, or like edit selected, and it brings you to like a more complicated box window that allows you to change things similar to user controls right now. Like if you go to edit controls, similar to how this works, to where it like will show you the correct controls for the selected control. So like if we go to like multi-button, it will give you this sort of layout, so you're able to like change different aspects of it. That may be a little far-fetched, and that may be something that's only used for user controls. If somebody, this comes into what I'm actually going to show off today. I'll actually show this off first, and then I'll talk about more about this. But I have recently been working on a little bit of secrety stuff that allows you to have an empty comp. You can open up the editor, and oh no, there's no nodes. You're not making a macro. Well, let's just open an old one. Fuck it. You know, let's just. Also, I have Dr. Macro. I call it Dr. Macro, but it's actually DaVinci Resolve Macro. I have these exporting, so now if you want to have a backup of your project, you can save it as a .dr macro. I want you to do JSON saving, like how shoot, I forget his name, but the guy who has the like DaVinci Resolve standalone, kind of like his own version of DaVinci Resolve, sort of modded, I guess, that injects his own information in there. He has his own macro editor. I totally forget his name. Maybe someone knows from what I just tried to describe. But he has his own macro editor that allows you to save as a JSON, but it broke in 19, someone was telling me. And I wanted to make that work so you could like have a compatibility with that JSON, but that would require having a secondary file to have to install. I don't want to have to like have you deal with that, so we're just gonna deal with Dr. Macro. But Dr. Macro basically is a .settings file, but in like a single location. If you want to access your other files that you have saved, you can go back over to Fusion templates and then choose something from over here, or you can do Fusion macros and choose a macro you have. This is the stuff that shows up on the edit page as a node. I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna see if Proto 2 effect works. I think it may work, but let's do Proto 2. This is, I believe, one of Mr. Alex Tech's tools. I think it's either that or this is something that he's borrowing to use. But if we were to open that, yeah, it looks like I may have to do some more changing. It looks like something didn't quite work right. But we are importing all the settings for it. It may not work. We will find out. Sometimes it takes a minute. Oh yeah, it looks like it's searching through this group right here. Sometimes groups take a while to search through when there's a lot of stuff in there. We just have to give it a minute. We just have to give it a few seconds. Maybe. It may not want to work. I should have chosen one that I knew would actually work. Patrick's Proto? I always get them too confused. I don't know why. Patrick and Alex, I'm always getting mixed up. At least they're tools. Them themselves are pretty easy to tell apart, but their tools, like they're both such masterful macro makers that I'm just like, same person, honestly. I do know that Mr. Alex Tech is Magic Animate. I know that. Sometimes. I mean, I know that now because I asked Patrick on Threads one time, being like, hey, I have a question about your Magic Animate tool. And he's like, actually, that was Mr. Alex Tech. And I'm like, shit. Yeah, this thing is not going to open. So what we got to do is force DaVinci to close, which I think that worked, surprisingly. Yeah, I did a dumb and asked him about something that wasn't his. Oh, I do want to give you guys a little bit of a, hey, I did something cool recently. I worked with, Jake Whip, another kind of larger YouTuber with like, I think 20,000 subs. I worked with him recently, and I made something for him. And that should be releasing on Monday, I believe. I won't give away what it is, but it's something pretty cool, something pretty slick. Okay, let's try opening something that I know will open. Let me put this down here. Let's open my cool space macro. That I know is gonna work. I know. I worked with the Jake Whip. He saw the macro editor and he was like, I gotta work with this guy. This guy knows what he's doing. And I honestly made his tool in like one day. He was really happy with it. It's awesome. It was really cool. It's a pretty simple tool given the fact that I'm working on this behemoth. And I've made this behemoth function in like a week. So that is, I'm working pretty fast on it, which does mean expect bugs, because I don't think it's going to work 100% of the time, which is a big flaw, which may be part of the reason why Blackmagic has such a simple version for their built-in macro editor. But anyway, let's open up the Dr. Macro file, and when we open it, it populates all the nodes and all of the outputs and inputs. It automatically connects your main output to the media out. And if you had multiple outputs in your macro, it would automatically select them as well. And at the moment, it's just dumping all of the IDs of all of your controls in the console. Let's put it down here. Like, it just dumps all the names of the controls, which is cool. That is one step away from putting it into here. And I'm going to, for release, I think I'm going to just give the option to reopen up simple macros. And let me explain what that means. I don't think I have resetting that working, but let's see. If I were to open up a different person's macro, which he has given me permission to like play with, because he wants to work with me on making it, able to open in this. If we open up one of his macros, and this is a fairly old macro from Fusion 16, and we're on Fusion 18 now. I think we're about to be on Fusion 19 though, because of DaVinci Resolve 19. But this is from Fusion 16, and it's opening up pretty well. It's a huge macro, by the way. Ginormous, so it always takes a while to load in. But all of their all of their controls, besides like the 4 inputs and outputs, which, did I clear this after I did mine? I did not clear it. This is where his starts. So he has these 4 act as the inputs. So like the different type of inputs for their, this is a green screen tool, like a master green screen tool that does a really good job. I saw his video on it. Looks like it does a really nice job. But each of, I'm gonna try to find it. The inputs like this, that's what these are. And then everything else is a user control that was on the actual macro itself, which a lot of them are combo boxes, which is what I'm getting to here. I have to add compatibility for combo boxes anyway for user controls, because I didn't account for that when I was making the macro the first time. Because I always assumed people would add the controls onto the nodes inside of the macro and then add them afterwards in a like in the code as like an instance. So the fact that he has a bunch of user controls that have a lot of like extra data that I wasn't predicting, I have to store that somehow. So that means I have to add compatibility for every type of control. Combo boxes, buttons are obviously coming anyway. The multi-buttons, like multi-button controls. What else do we got? Let's just do a user. Let's do a user controls thing real quick. Let's look at all the options. Let's see, we got sliders, screws. That's all okay. Range is range should be fine. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at range. Range does work the same as sliders, besides having like a group, I believe. Checkboxes are already added. That's pretty simple. Buttons are going to be added. Combo control. I don't remember what combo control is. Is this just a combo box? I think it is. Multi-button we've talked about already. Labels are fine. Color. Don't know about color. It has a compatibility, but making your own with this tool isn't really compatible yet. I don't know if I will be making it compatible necessarily. Pretty much I just have to add compatibility for combo controls and multi-button controls, because those are the two things that can have like arrays. Let me pull up. There it is. So multi-button controls look like this. They have like brackets surrounding like what button you're adding, and like you can have a bunch of these in like a big old list, and I have to be able to save this, and I'm trying to currently figure out if I can add just like a drop down menu in the UI in the tree here. Like in this existing list, there's just like one that's just like combo box options, and you can like type in your own new ones and maybe like select one to delete. I don't know. The problem is I don't think there's been a method discovered that allows you to do that. I'm asking some people on the We Suck Less forum about it, but I don't know if it's actually going to come up with anything. Because I found a post like from a couple years ago that was like, can't be done. So maybe I don't know how to do that. But either way, I want to add a button that's just like edit controls, and it just brings up the appropriate control edit ability things you can do for each of the individual controls, including ones you can already see over here, but just to make it like compatible with anything, really. When you, just for, I guess, also clarity's sake, when you click on button, it will give you the option to either create a new button or edit the code in a button that either already exists in your macro preview or exists in the controls that you have selected. Sorry. Pronunciation's pretty crap sometimes. Now I just dumped a bunch of information at you because I'm invested in this a lot. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If I've bored all of you, do let me know. I'm just gonna hang out for a second, maybe drink something, let my throat catch up. Yeah, let me go full screen again so you can see me, not just the screen. It's a lot to process to implement something. Yes. I have to figure out how I'm going to convert the setting file into user-friendly controls, which is easier said than done, but it also isn't easy said. So there you go. Just a few more things I'm going to be adding to the release version, just to quickly go over them. I'm going to be adding the ability to... It's going to ask you if you want to save the images that are in loader nodes as a... actually, if you saw my video from today, if you have an image either in a loader node or in a media in node, I believe I'm going to be able to ask you, hey, do you want to turn your images in, like, add them to the save location of your .setting file? And then it should convert it automatically to do the setting : / your file name. If I believe that should be easy enough to figure it out. Never dumb question. Saw you making a macro to make a PNG glow. Something along those lines. Would you select media in when making the macro? If you want it to be like an effect, no. Let me show you what I mean. See how, well, you can't even see that. I have a little window open here of chat. I didn't realize you guys wouldn't be able to see that. Anyway, sorry, off topic. Let me show you what we can do. Let's get rid of this. So if you want to make it like an effect, like that's not a dumb question at all. That's pretty common. People don't fully know everything that you can do to make a macro work. Is it gonna crash? Okay, thank goodness. Let's say you have... Best way to make this work is make a fusion comp and then add your image in there afterwards. It's just so you're not bound to the image as the macro creating place, but you're bound to a whole like empty playground. Then we can bring in our image, for example, our logo. And I'm just gonna use XGlow. Oh, hello. I'm just gonna use XGlow from Reactor because I love it. Jeez. Turn that down a little bit. Fall off. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Jeez. What's going on with that? Why is there no saturation now? What is happening? I don't know why it's doing this. Okay, let's just choose the regular glow because XGlow is being weird. What in the world? What is happening with my DaVinci? This didn't look like this a second ago, right? Like I'm not losing my mind. Let's try that again. Bring this in here. Okay, that looks normal. Let's just do a regular glow because I'm not gonna deal with that. Make glow signs big, maybe, To make it not be clipping on the edges, like if we were to bring it into a background and put it over the background. If we see there is clipping happening on the glow, to make that not happen anymore, put it after the background. Put it like over here in the flow. Therefore, it expands the entire size. And then we can do all this, organize it however you need, make the background transparent. And you can add like a scale node right here if you want to make it bigger or smaller. But if you want this to be like an effect you can put on anything, does not matter if it's this file or not. You could add the media in node and make it a generator, and then people will have to like drag their image into this line. You can select this line for a macro, or you can just select these nodes and then make this input your main input, and that's what people are going to connect their image to. So let me show you how to do that real quick. I'm just going to use my macro creator because it's fast. So we'll just select everything. We don't have to necessarily have an active node for making controls, but I'll just choose background because I might add a label. But if we make a macro with my creator tool, we'll just call this glow as like a test. Select your controls in whatever order you want them to be like editable in. We'll just make a label for transform first. I don't know, we'll just choose like 12 for our input header. And then we'll do transform, and we'll grab the transform controls we want to grab. So we want to grab center all the way down to probably maybe the flips. I like to have the flips in there, and we'll just bulk add those. And then we can do a glow, and we'll add that again. And we want these both to be open, so we'll change this to 1. And then we'll add our glow settings, which I'll just add everything from the controls area. You may not need all of it, it may be unnecessary, but just add it in just because. And I'm just going to double check all the numbers real fast. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is actually 10. So we'll hide in 10 with that one, and this is probably more than 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This one is 20. Okay. So now this is our controls. We could also potentially, this is like a really unnecessary thing that you could do, but give them the image tab basically, and give them width, height, and an auto resolution. What is this called? Width, height. Okay. Yeah, width. We can add width, height, and auto resolution, and bulk add those. Oh, I should have added a tab. So hold on. I also did not add them in the order I expected. Apparently, the order that you select them in things in does matter. I did not know that. We can also add another one for like background or sizing. We can just add 3. There we go. This is unnecessary. I just want to add it just for the heck of it. Add those. There we go. Cool. We have this how we want it to look. We can then, we'll just do a regular save as. But no, we'll save it as a DRFX so I can show you. So this is going to be an effect. So you want it to have the effects selected right there. And then you can name it whatever you want. I'll put it in my Fusion. This is not naming the file, I should say. This is naming the folders the file goes into. So Fusion Pixel Studios is my general company file name that I like to use. And then we'll just make one for test, not text, test, and then glow. If you add a / and then another name in there, it'll create another subfolder if you didn't know. Just a little pro tip. We can then save that. It's gonna ask us where it's gonna go. We'll just put it on desktop in a new save folder here. Save it in there. Wait for that to go away. We can open up our file here. And we can 7-zip glow test.drfx. This is also maybe some of your first time actually watching this function besides the previous. Like, I think all of you guys have the beta who I'm talking to, but this isn't your first time watching a function if you just saw the last live stream, because the last live stream was a disaster. We can then do OK. Creates a little DRFX file for us. We can go and close out of that, install that. But if we check this folder before we go looking in DaVinci, we have an effects folder, then we have our Fusion Pixel Studios, test, and then glow. And then that's where the glow.setting is. Now if we put in our image in here again, and it doesn't have to be this image, but then we can go to the Effects tab, come down to Fusion Pixel Studios, and if you want to find Test, it's right here, and then it has the drop down for the glow section. Drop it onto whatever image or thing you want to have it glow. And I forgot something. Entirely forgot something, and that was my bad. You had to select an input. I just am a big dumb. So as you can see, it is going straight out to the output, but it's not connecting because I'm an idiot. If you were to, let me just quickly retroactively go back and don't crash. Okay. Let's just quickly go back and I'll just demonstrate what you would do. As you're making your controls and adding all your controls and everything, you can double click the input, which would be transform input. Yeah, you have to have an input. So when you're using the regular macro editor, for example, if we were to create macro with this nasty old thing, you would find the input that you want to have as your main input, and then find it here. Generally it auto selects it for you. I want to have that as a feature when I release it, when I release mine, that if you have an output or if you have an input that is being connected to from something that's not in the selected nodes, then it will auto select it. So for example, if you have something like this, it will auto select it. Or if you had a mask that you didn't have in your selected nodes, it would auto select that as an input. But yeah, to do that for my thing though, for my thing though, you just double click. In this case, it'd be transform one input. Double click that and it shows up as green. And then you're good to go. That will then create the input for that and it will work fine. Let me... Nope, wrong thing. You have to go into Fusion for that. If I were to copy this, open up our text editor, and paste it. We can also do this in the dot settings file, but I just want to do this real quick here. In inputs, you would create a new input similar to this. And then you would just call this one, if you wanted to just say main input, you can. This is if you accidentally forgot to add it, by the way. You don't have to do this with the actual tool, but just to show you how to fix it. You then can remove these last two because you don't need a default or a page. And then we'll just choose transform one because that's the node, and then source is input. And that is what we need. Yeah, it's a doozy to get effects to work if you don't have someone telling you how to do it. But there we go. If we now hover over this, it shows it's the main input. And now if we connect everything up, now we can see it works just fine. And this is why we have the sizing option, because we can then scale it down and it still works great. There you go. That's if you wanted to manually fix it, because it can be a bit of a pain in the butt. But when I make the tool, that should be good to go. You just have to either remember to do it, or it'll select it for you. So yeah. Oh yeah. Glow has a weird problem, if you weren't aware. Let's go back to the main comp. Actually, no, I'll just change it over here. I keep afraid I have to go into effects. If we open this up as a group, and go into the glow, if we disable the alpha channel, it will no longer have that weird shadow thing effect, whatever was going on there. I don't know, glows are weird. I think it's meant to be on full images like this is, or a full something that won't have a background to it. It's weird why it's designed like that. Maybe there's like a specific motion graphics reason or like a VFX reason. But yeah, that's how you fix that problem. I've encountered that a lot. I've encountered that a lot. Even down to the problem of my effects manager. I think still has that problem. Oh no, I changed it for my effects manager. Good on me. Good job, me. I'm glad I fixed that. It was broken for such a long time. Does the stroke still work? Yeah, it looks like the stroke's okay. Oh, if you didn't know I had this, by the way, I have an effects manager that basically just brings like a color overlay, a drop shadow, a general overglow, a stroke, and then a stroke glow, which I use in a lot of stuff all the time. It also gives you basic transform controls, and you can also reorder how they're showing up, like being applied to this. Like you can apply multiple things to it at the same time. But if you wanted the shadow to happen over the stroke, for some reason, you can just drag it and it does that instead. Pretty cool stuff. I made this a little while ago and I want to update it to include some other glowing effects like inner glow, inner shadow, realistic or long glow, or long shadow, I mean. Just some other effects that are like nice to have in one tool, but you don't want to have to like dig around and make it work really complicatedly, if that makes sense. But today I was thinking about working on actually making, I mean, we're almost at an hour already. If you guys had any questions, feel free to ask them. My DaVinci's not wanting to cooperate today. But if you guys had any questions in general, I would love to answer them. Right now we've been talking a lot about this macro editor. If you have questions about that, or about other projects I'm working on, or really anything else, I'm happy to answer those too. I'm just gonna make a new comp. That's a lot of stuff. You know, I keep planning on working on stuff during these streams, but we just have such great talks. I honestly don't remember to really talk about anything. DaVinci might crash. That is a possibility right now. No, I think we're okay. Oh, that's the effect. Fusion comp. There we go. Does the option to activate or deactivate the nodes with the button help to have better optimization? You may have to explain that a little bit more, because I don't know if I'm following what you're trying to say. Like, well, for one, I don't know off the top of my head if you can deactivate or activate nodes with code. Off the top of my head, I don't think so. Or do you mean like pass through? We're talking about like pass through. Like if we put text in here. We're talking about like clicking this button up here, passing through. Like disabling it. Which can also be done with a Control P, by the way, if you didn't know. Yeah, it does help with optimizing. But there are other ways to do that too, like taking. This one doesn't have a blend option, but if you were to like take opacity down all the way, like here, let's put this over a merge node, for example. If we were to put a background over it and then put the text over it, and then do blend. That will also help with making it run smoother with optimizing. And I will be going over actually all about button code and making stuff like this work with stuff like with buttons in next week's video. But just quickly showing you, let's just use let's make alpha divide. I like using alpha divide. It's really simple. There's not a lot of other controls on it. Let's make a button real quick. We'll just do on and off. We can do toggle buttons, but I won't really get into all that because that's a little bit much. We'll just do 0.5. On user. Okay. And then we'll do another one for off, which if you didn't know, you can also do this. You can just change the ID of something and it will create a new one with all the same settings. Just like that. And this happens sometimes. It's just a weird fluke with the UI of how DaVinci handles Fusion. It's weird. DaVinci's weird with UI stuff. DaVinci's weird with a lot of stuff, to be fair. Excuse my coughs today. I had ice cream and it messes with my throat. But what we can do now, there's a few ways of doing it. The easiest way would be to make code in a code editor like this. So what I want to do is do, you know, like when this is clicked, you want it to do something. So we want, when on is clicked, to turn merge one dot blend equal to 1. I believe that's gonna work right. Because we're turning blend, or no, this one's blend code. Let's go blend clone. So let's do blend clone, it equals to 1. Generally when you're working with buttons, it's easier for your brain to comprehend everything if you put like a semicolon at the end. Just so like you know, okay, this is a line break. And then we can do another piece of code, which I'm actually going to steal from another thing over here, because I don't remember it off the top of my head. This is the life of a person who codes a lot. This is something that I'm going to show off in a future video, by the way. But what we can do is take these 2 lines of code, and let's put them into here, and let's go back to our comp. It's getting hot in this room. Well, I wish I brought a fan in here. So we don't have multi-merge, so we want to find the node. We want the pass-through to be on text. Text 1, pass-through true. Oh no, this was turning it on, so we want pass-through to be false. Sorry. We want there to be another one for the merge, because also disabling the merge and making blend 0 when it's off also helps optimize it. So we can set the merge 1 to pass through false when it's on, and then connect. So this is going to disconnect the merge from, let's bring this closer to the media. Make it a little bigger so we can see everything all at the same time. It's actually close the inspector. So this is going to connect input of the merge to nothing. Oh, this is turning it on again. I keep forgetting that. But this is hard to think through really fast. I wish I'd like thought about this ahead of time, but doing this on the fly is really tough for my brain to comprehend. So we want, when it's turning on, we want to connect the merge input to the background input. So we want to just say this is input, this is background for merge. So we'll just do background. and connect this to background 1. This is the node, and this is the input name. So that this one that's highlighted is this yellow arrow. This is the name of the node that you're taking the input connecting to and fro. And we also want then to connect the media out 1 to, or media out 1 input to merge 1. And then we want to take all this and invert it. So we want to take all this, paste it down here, make that 0. Also, let's add our semicolons so we can see it later on easier. There we go. Ignore the errors. It's trying to figure out if this is Lua, and it's trying to figure out why there's semicolons. But if we were to then make these true, and I want to make background connect to a nil value, so we'll just make it a blank string. Then we want media out input to be connected to background. Okay, I hope you followed that. That was a lot, but now let's add that to our buttons. If we copy the code that we just made and edit the controls for on and paste it and execute, press OK, edit the controls for off, take our other code that we made and paste that and execute, we should, if I did everything right, have toggling. Did I do pass-throughs correctly? I think I did. Yeah. If we turn it on, nothing should change, but if we turn it off, yeah, looks like I did something wrong. We almost got it there though. We're very close to getting that right. Ah, I didn't spell background correctly. There we go. If we copy this and change off again, now if we do on and off there. Oops. Okay, I need to change the no, that should be working. Maybe it needs to be, hold on, let me check my other code real quick, because clearly I did something wrong with that. Once again, the life of somebody who codes a lot. You have to just keep double checking yourself, because you always get something wrong. So when you disable the connection, it's not a blank string, it's nil. You literally just put nil in there. Okay. So change this. Instead of having a string in there, you just say nil. And then copy. And then you can replace off, execute with that. On looks like that, and off now looks like that. That is the best way to optimize your code, or optimize your macros with on and off switches. You're turning this down to 0, so it's having no actual change in the final output. You're literally disconnecting it from the media out, so it's not displaying it on the edit page or trying to render what's happening behind it. It's literally basically not even existing in there. It's just random nodes that are just there. Then we can see text, and then we can now select text. Like, let's say we animate this real fast. Does A work right now? It does. I fixed that. If we were to animate the center on my text here with my anim utility tool, if you haven't checked it out, please go check it out. It's really cool. And we can Oh boy. We can make it animate to actually make it visible so I can actually see what we're doing. We can go to the start, bring it down. Let's also make the size a little bit bigger too. Now if we play through it, we can see we're not really losing any speed generally, because it's just one little animation. But if we would disable it, we don't have to worry about that speed loss at all, because it's just not even there. Why is the most anxiety-inducing song playing right now? That's crazy. But yeah. It seems easy until you understand it well. I don't know what? It seems easy until you understand it well. You're trying to say it doesn't seem easy until you understand it well? If you want, I can drop the code for that in... I am playing Super Mario Galaxy music, and it's very much the most anxiety-inducing soundtrack I've ever heard in my life. The translator does not translate well. No, yeah, they never do that. Here, let me drop the code in the Discord so it's a little bit like open for everybody. Where did I drop that? Maybe I should just make a whole topic just for... Here, I'll drop it in macro help. Sure. There we go, and buttons, Lua script, custom controls, user controls. Sweet. Anything else we should really say about this? Do you need any more context for later? Okay, actually, I'll add some comments. There we go. That should be helpful. Now, if you needed any instant, like, referral back to that, it's pretty easy. Such epic music. Is this like a boss fight song? No problem, Sentinel. And sure, yeah. Go and send me your macro, and I'll take a look at that. I could maybe, in like a couple of weeks, when I maybe get some more of a following who like are interested in doing these like Friday night streams, or I might even make these into videos, like reviewing your macros. People would be interested in that. I want to do that, but if people are interested in that, I would also love to see if people are wanting to see that. If you want it to be in the public Discord, go ahead. It's up to you if you want it to be like available to download for everybody right now, or just like between you and me. It doesn't matter too much to me. Either, just whatever you are more comfortable with doing. I by no means consider myself an expert. I do teach macros, but there are still a lot of things that I definitely need to learn. Like I recently discovered that you're able to change the icons of tabs, and when you also make your own macros, you can remove the controls and settings tab. I didn't know that until like last week. And I've been doing macros for like maybe 2 years now. There's still a lot to learn. But I would be happy to give my opinions on everyone's macros. I'll be like, hey, this is crap. You should do it this way. I won't be so mean, but I will dig into it if you want me to. Yeah, compared to, I guess, people who I'm teaching, I am expert level. But like, I learned a lot of my stuff from like Mr. Alex Tech, and to me, he's expert level. Because he's making like Magic Animate, and it's really impressive what he's doing. And it's pretty optimized too, like this is even more impressive to me. It's fairly optimized. Obviously it has some slowness happening. Since it in general, bet. I don't like saying bet, that makes me feel weird. Alright, looks like you sent it to me as a text file. Probably just the way the Discord read it, I'm sure. Let me convert this into a macro. Is this intended to be edit page, effect, generator, title? What's it intended to be? Oh, did you resend it as something else? Ah, okay. Oh no, not the most anxiety-inducing song ever. Is this meant to be like a effect generator title? I'm assuming not a transition because those are a little bit harder. Or should I just drag it into a Fusion comp and test it out that way? Title? Okay. I'm not going to demonstrate on live just so you guys can see. Hey, how's it going, Jake? Let's open up Fusion, templates, make an edit folder in here. I don't know why they don't. I don't know why they don't have an edit folder by default. It's bizarre. But in templates, you can go to titles, and we'll just, I'll put one in testing here. Yeah, sure, I'll keep that there. We can cut this and paste it into here. Wait for DaVinci to have like an aneurysm or something, and wait for it to catch up. I think my my catchphrase for the macro series is going to end up being, and wait for DaVinci to catch up, because it always takes forever. Has it caught up yet? What's going on? Let me see. Oh, looks like you had it in generators. I can see everything. Yeah, I see that. I see that now in your message. Oh, is this what you made with my macro creator? I can tell because of the way that the IDs are made. Need shirts. I don't know, I might start selling merch at some point. Maybe if I hit maybe when I hit either 500 or 1,000 subs, I'll start selling merch. I don't know, it depends. I'm not sure. Is it in testing? It's not. Okay, that just means DaVinci has to restart. So give me a second. Yeah, DaVinci is a bit of a pain in my backside when it comes to adding macros to it, because it's just like, oh, did you though? Did you add a macro to me, or did you hallucinate that? And then I have to tell it by killing it and restarting it that it does. It in fact, it did include a macro just recently. There it is. All right, let's take a look at this. Ooh, nice glow. I like that. Yeah, this is common. This is going to probably be a really common issue. And I might have to change the default setting for titles like this. If you change the default value when making your titles to 1 instead of 0, it's open instead of closed. Just a pro tip. But yeah, all that looks pretty sick. You got rays going on. Nice. Something I did learn when making my own stuff. Definitely make your tab names as short as possible. So like for background, do BG instead of just background, because UI will cut it off really easily. Like make it as short and easy to tell what it is as possible. I can tell a little bit. But that's okay. Sometimes just copying what someone does is the best way to learn. Like especially when it's a huge tool like the Macro Creator. Definitely need to like watch somebody to fully take it all in. But, you know, I think that's looking pretty good. Let's check the fusion. And it looks like you exported it as a macro. Let's just convert that and dig into your macro, or your words are not my forte. Dig into your nodes. I won't comment on the organization. That's between you and your gods. Between you and the DaVinci Resolve gods. I do really like that effect. It does look really cool. I like that nice glow behind with the gradient. Is that made by the background here? Yeah, nice. That's pretty sick. I actually really like that. And yep, that's just the background for that. Yeah, I mean, all that's looking pretty slick. Let's see, do you have any inner spillage? I guess it's black, you can't really tell it. Let's make it white. My only idea is like, if you want to do it just on the outside, not have any bleed on the inside, you can also do, like, put this into the mask here, and it will just be on the outside and have no inner bleed. But it's up to whatever you want the effect to look like. That looks pretty sick, dude. It's awesome. I mean, it is pretty tidy. I don't like having my node trees so compact, because what if you look at it like in a couple of years or give it to somebody else to take a look at, and they're just like when you get to get a lot of nodes and you have it really compact, it's just like, what am I even looking at? But it's totally up to you and if you want to give it to somebody else. I'm always thinking of like, what if somebody else wants to look at it and like learn from it? That's always how I've made my macros. For one, that's how I learned how to make macros. And two, I'm just that kind of person. Did you use 3D text and bevel to do that? I don't know what you're meaning. I may have said something that I just forgot what I said a second ago. I'm taking you mean like the bleeding? Like the inner bleeding? So technically I guess it is kind of, you do have it layering on top of it. So I guess having a bleed wouldn't happen too much. I guess it would help with not bleeding, but I guess you don't have that issue, do you? Because it is masking over it. Or it's layered on top of it, I mean. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't have that issue, would you? Because you are merging it. Yeah, I think I was thinking of another effect, possibly. Oh, you have glow, and then raise, and then 2 glows. Pretty cool effect. I'm not the best at making the effects, but I am really good at, like, making them do stuff. I'm really good at the making the macro do the thing that I want it to do. But yeah, overall, I love it. This is a really good macro, dude. I'm not entirely sure what this background color is really changing. I just noticed that. Because it's not changing anything in here. It's not changing that one. Background 2. It apparently is changing something in background 2. But it's not doing anything in background. That is weird. It's not changing anything. Well, this will change the glow color. Like, this changes the glow color, but this isn't changing anything. Oh, wait. What? Now, oh, it's not changing it on the edit page because of... because I made it a group instead of keeping it as a macro. Here, let's put it back in. Yeah, there we go. Oh, weird. Oh. Unintended behavior. Interesting, but unintended behavior. Macros are tricky, let me tell you. You definitely don't... Yeah, just a pro tip for you. When selecting the controls, either one, you can like deselect ones you don't need, but if you, like, as you're selecting them, let's just do the background, for example, since that's what we're looking at over on yours. When selecting the controls in bulk, it's really easy to grab the nests that are already on the control. Like if we look up here, background, if you look at the ID, it's called background nest. Sometimes they're called blank, sometimes they're called nest. On text, the nest for that is called text. Like, you have to just keep an eye on it. But to deselect it from your group selection, you can do a control click and it will deselect it. And then when you bulk at it, you just get the controls themselves. Just so you don't have, like, just so you don't have this happening where it's like type background and then type background. It'll just be type and then the options. Just a pro tip. Yeah, I'm excited to see the future macros you make. Definitely want to see your stuff that you want to, you know, do some more complex things in the future. I definitely want to see more of that. You definitely know how to make some cool effects. I do not make cool effects, as I said earlier. I'm really good at making the things do the things. I have heard of Norman. I have heard of him. For some reason, he's one of the guys who I just didn't even consider talking about, like, talking to. I don't know why. But I've definitely heard of his stuff. I've seen a few of his videos. Let me look him up real quick just so I can see what he's working on recently. Maybe if I type his name in correctly, that might help. Seriously, DaVinci Fusion is amazingly fun. Normad, not Norman, my bad. There he is. There's no R. Nomad. All of the names and words I tried saying that were completely wrong. Yeah, I have seen a lot of his stuff. Oh, his Loki prune video. Awesome. The Loki portal. This guy is a genius with his stuff. He doesn't post very often, but I think when you get to be like a certain production value and like people expect a certain production quality from you, you tend to take longer on your stuff. Plus, if you're working on really crazy effects anyway, it would take a while to like beta test them and try them out. The electric effect. Oh yeah, the one from a month ago. I think I saw that. Yeah, I watched that video. I don't remember at all what the contents were. What PC components for DaVinci Resolve to work well? I have a really good PC. If you want a good PC, honestly, like the 30 series, like 3080, 3090, I think is really good. I'm not a huge computer like wizard. I don't know all the detailed stuff. I haven't tried to replicate the Loki stuff. It intimidates me. But that means I also have to like go out and record myself doing some like stupid walking, and I'm like I get embarrassed too easily. But yeah, I'm not a computer wizard. There's definitely like places out there to like figure out good PC components, but at least for graphics card, I go with 30, like the 30 series or higher. Anything lower than that, you get a little bit too slow performance with the studio version of DaVinci. I should say, you only have GPU acceleration on studio. If you are on the free version, you don't have the studio acceleration or the GPU acceleration, which basically means DaVinci won't use your GPU unless you're on studio. That may be changing. I think I watched a Patrick Sterling video where that's changing, but yeah. Hey, good morning, Chad. How's it going? Oh, it's morning for you. Oh, wow. Yeah, time zones are a weird thing, aren't they? Did I get another? I'm getting all sorts of messages just now. Yeah, no, it's like 9 o'clock for me. Yeah, more RAM definitely is better. More memory as well, which I think maybe RAM. Just make some coffee, saw you were live. Yeah, no, we're just chatting about different things. You saw my macro editor, the macro creator tool last week, right? Were you there when it didn't work? or were you just there hearing about me talking about it? Let me look at my PC stats so I can give you what I have. I have really top of the line stuff. Up late fixing your macros after watching my video. I mean, I like that you've learned stuff and want to like take that into practice, but man, keeping you up late's not good, man. Get some sleep. I say that and I'm up till like 1 o'clock every night. My CPU is a 13th gen Intel. It's an i7. So Intel 7, i7 I mean. I have 64 gigs of memory. Probably could have more. And I have a really good GPU. Like mine's pretty up there. So I won't tell you what that is because it's definitely like not required. It helps make things really fast, but the 30 series is all you really need for computer specs. Or if you want to do Apple too, the M3 chips and M4 chips are, I think, like the most optimized computers made for DaVinci. since Apple loves buying companies and really loves giving companies money that, you know, and making them supremacy overall. It's great. You can tell I don't like Apple. They like to force them upon you. You saw my recent video, right? The one from today. I think I saw you in the comments, right? Yeah, I saw you in there. Well, that was 7 hours ago. That was late for you, wasn't it? Oh, jeez. Yeah, I actually talked a little bit about expressions and buttons today on the stream. If you go to the description of this live, I do have a link to the Discord where I posted that code in there. I posted it in the macro help channel so that like anybody who wants like a reference back to like easy on and off button code, it's just right there. But I'll also be going over all that in detail next week in my video, talking about making a single toggle button, using 2 buttons to do a toggle options, hiding controls with labels, and doing some stuff with expressions. I'll probably be like slowly doing small stuff with expressions because expressions is a lot. There's a lot to go over with that. And if I try to like teach you everything about expressions in one video, I would lose everybody's interest in like 5 seconds. That's not to say I wouldn't have people who would be really interested in it, like you and a few others, but generally I feel like just having a list of expressions in a video isn't super interesting. But I will be referencing back to a database for a lot of my expressions that I'll be talking about. There's like a website, I think Willem Justice put it together, and I'll have that linked in my descriptions so that everybody can see that. We've been going for a good hour and a half. If you guys want to start winding down, that is cool with me. But if you guys want to chat more, ask any more questions, talk about any more stuff, I'd be happy to chat with you guys. I would get into working on the secret tool, the macro creator, but that's going to take a lot of work, and I kind of want to like dedicate a whole live stream to talking about it and like working on it. But I think just talking about macro stuff's perfect. That's all we really need to talk about most of the time. The most epic song for the most non-epic moment in the stream. When I finish the macro series, I'm going to be doing a like however long it's going to be, maybe like over an hour long video combining all of the videos previously done about it in like one big video of like macro masterclass. I don't have a super in-depth. True, there is a lot of people who do need like expression breakdowns. That is true. I don't have an in-depth tutorial on anim utility. The closest thing to in-depth is what's on the channel, and I think it's also linked in anim utility. But generally, anim utility is, says the maker himself. I think it's fairly easy to work with. But like I said, I made the damn thing, so of course I would say that. But basically, all the anim utility tool does, ignore the install script. I'm using the one from Reactor, which includes the new curves. I guess I haven't mentioned the curves stuff, have I? Curves is new. That wasn't part of the initial release. But, does this bring you to the tutorial? Yeah. So the YouTube button, sorry for the double audio there. The YouTube button down here takes you to the tutorial. I probably didn't mention that in the video. But if you want to watch the tutorial for it, it's just the one that's on my YouTube channel that you might have already seen. But I don't go over how to use it to export as macros. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm looking at, can you, on my screen, can you? This button here takes you to the tutorial. If you hover over it, it also tells you. There it goes. Tells you it takes you to the YouTube tutorial. I didn't want to like have a big old button at the top being like YouTube tutorial. I wanted to have a button that just did YouTube. It's a little bit cleaner that way. But I have not gone over this, and I have not gone over exporting the controls for macros, which I do need to do. It was my intention to make that video, but then I never got around to making it because there wasn't really like an interest in anim utility around the time. But now that people are becoming more interested in it, I can't speak. People are becoming more interested in anim utility, which I appreciate. But that also will mean that I need to be working on updating it and making more videos on it, which is fine. It just means that I need to actually put time into it. I think I've made, this is off topic, but I've made like $5 today, or $10 today. You haven't tried it out yet? Okay. I guess I can give a quick little crash course right now. So the way I open it generally is I have installed Resolve Essentials, which you can get from Reactor. Reactor is, if you haven't heard about Reactor, it's amazing. It has a bunch of tools that people have made and anim utilities on there, but also Resolve Essentials, I think. Yeah, right here. Resolve Essentials by Andrew, which is also a really good dude. He made that, which has a key bind, or a hotkey manager. You set up a hotkey for a macro or a script in there, and then you can change it in your keyboard customization over here. And it just shows up over here, and I just changed anim utility to open up with A. So whenever I want to use anim utility, I just press A on my keyboard and it just opens. Pretty cool. So the way you do it is you have a node selected, and if you want to change whatever node you have selected, click on merge or any other node, and then you can refresh and it gives you that other I'll check out that. I downloaded the Kick Butt shaders. I don't know how much YouTube's gonna like me saying ass. I've been swearing, who cares? Kick-ass shaders, I have checked that out. I don't have a huge use for making 3D stuff, to be fair. But it does look like it's really cool. Like, where is it at? The content browser looks sick. Really cool. They could definitely optimize, how they're doing it. Like they can do tabs instead of buttons, but that's me, I don't know. They're probably doing this longer than I have, to be fair. I mean, that's a lot of cool stuff they got. You just click it. Oh, wow. have to wait 6 years for it to load? Oh, the keyboard, the hotkey customization? You know, it's sick. Oh, I'm slowing down my computer trying to load this. Holy crap. What in the world? How did they do this? This is just a texture, right? Oh, I feel like I'm looking at Blender again. Oh yeah, yeah. If you get it from Reactor, it comes packaged with Content Browser, and you can see all the previews for everything. Really cool. You think keep injuries? Fair. That's fair. You know, if you click on them, it looks like it just brings you everything you need. Sometimes it gives you, it looks like the entire, like not comp, but 3D environment. Sometimes it doesn't. That's really cool. I don't have a huge use for 3D stuff like that, but I don't do a whole lot of VFX work. That's not a me thing. I don't do that a whole lot. I do motion graphics mostly. Definitely, if you want to do VFX, Casey Ferris. If you want to do motion graphics or macros, that's a me. I've just been using it with replace material. There's a lot more stuff you can do with it, it looks like. But yeah, back to Anim Utility really quick. You can change whatever node you're on with this refresh tool. And you can search whatever node control you want to animate. So if you want to animate size, you type in size. And you can look for the control ID, which if you hover over a node name, or a control name, down in the bottom left in this little area, you'll see its ID. So like for tracking, it's called character spacing clone instead of tracking. And you can do tracking. You cannot do tracking. You have to search specifically for character spacing clone if you want the character spacing clone. I don't know why. Oh yeah, because it doesn't say tracking over there. That's why. Certain things are weird. I want to give this another update in the future, but I meant to say size there. If you click on whatever control you want to animate, it'll give you a name for the modifiers that it's going to add onto your node. And generally keeping it as is fine, but if you want it to have a special name, you can change it. And then you paste it. It'll give 5 seconds before you're able to do anything with this, and then you're able to close it, or you can keep it open and just put it off to the side. And then click off and click back on. This is going to be confusing because there's already other stuff on here. If we go to size, it will take in whatever value the size slider was at when you animated it with the Anim utility, and then it will just by default take it from 0 to that number that you set it to. You can do anim in and anim out in frames for the length of the animation. It's set up for 24 because I think the most commonly used frame rate is 24 seconds or 24 frames a second. So it's gonna last about a second for your 20 FPS timelines. You can also convert this to 2 seconds instead, which I always recommend doing before making it a macro. But frames is a little bit easier for the Fusion page for setting up your animation. So you can make it come in for 48 frames for about 2 seconds then. That's how long it's gonna be scaling up for. And then you can, it's gonna come out for 24 seconds still. And if you convert it, it's gonna take those numbers. The in-anim start is how far away from 0 is it starting to come in. So we can set this to say 20 frames. And at the 20th frame in, then it's going to start scaling up. This out anim end is taking the information from the last number of your comp. How many this way is it going to end? the animation. So by default, it's 0, so it's going to be ending at the very end of your comp. If you want to put this to 20, like you have the start, 20 frames in from the end, it will end its animation. So right there. Hopefully that makes some sense. You also have curves, which is just the basic in and out curve drop downs from anim curves. I had options to do custom curves as well, but it would easily be broken by putting in incorrect inputs. So I just wanted to do it like this so it was a little bit safer, so you couldn't accidentally break it, because it's pretty common. Then of course, you know, if you want to animate something else, you just select another control, refresh, and you get the other control stuff, or other node stuff. You can't directly add things to modifiers, like let's say you added a modifier to this for perturb, for example, you know, randomly changing the color, whatever. You can't add it directly to this, but you can, without selecting any of the controls, put a unique name in here. And we'll just say perturb 1 strength. And then when you paste it, it just tells you, hey, you didn't add it to anything, but it's still there. Please connect it manually. So then you can right click, connect to, find the thing that says connect to me in connection. And then you can animate that. So strength right now is at 0, but you can animate strength to slowly go up to about 1 for about 1 second into the comp, and there you go. Not a huge easy example to show you with perturb, because perturb's already like randomly changing, but there you go. That's how you can do that with like existing modifiers. Oh, and if we do want to quickly show you the curves tab, you can save custom curves. Like any of the things you can do in the curves drop down right here, you can set into here. Let's say I really like to use sine and back. You can save that. Is there a problem? Oh no, it did save. It just doesn't tell you. You can save it and it goes into here. Definitely watch this again to learn it. You also can watch the tutorial, but the tutorials may be a little bit chaotic and there's not as good production value in it because it was pretty early on and stuff. And then if you want to set any future anim utility modifiers to be that specific saved curves, you can set it as the default and it will then tell you that. And if you want to flip the outs, so it's like the in is going to be sine and back. If you flip the outs, the out will be back and then out, or back and then sine. You can obviously turn that off and then set it and it's not flipped. That needs to definitely be explained. And you can also then delete a current preset, or you can delete all presets and it will ask you for confirmation. Just like that. There's also delete all saved settings. There's like, it might delete your positioning stuff, I think. Delete all saved settings. Yeah. Does it delete your position values in information? No. Okay, that stays. Okay. Like, it will remember wherever you closed it last and reopen it there. It just has that little bit of information in there to help usability. So if you have one place you like to keep it, you can just always have it over there and then close it, reopen it, just like that. Yeah. What else you guys got for me? Any more crazy questions? Yeah, this stream will be saved as a VOD, by the way, so you can always come back and rewatch this stream. This 2-hour stream. We've actually been going for 2 hours now this time. I appreciate you saying that. I feel like I make mediocre stuff. My stuff is... I'm still learning some things, but I like to make things function. Like I've already said that a few times in the stream, but I don't like to make cool animations and make cool effects. I like to just make things do what people want and need them to do. Like I wanted simple animations to make my macros easier. I made enemy utility. I wanted to make macros in general easier. I've made the macro creator, which is still in development for those of you who are unaware of what that is. I appreciate that, dude. I honestly don't know what all to respond to that with. Definitely can be confusing. I try to make it as user-friendly as possible, but any like input from you guys will definitely help with that. It's easy for me to understand it because I obviously made it and I know how it's supposed to work. But somebody who has no idea how to use it will definitely be confused. And coding in general it's a whole ball game, dude. For full transparency, by the way, I only have maybe a month total of no. Yeah, it's getting easier, but I have to work through some of it to figure it out. Yeah. Things aren't super easy all the time to grasp, but yeah, definitely once you start learning it, it's like, bam. I didn't... Oh no, I have ADHD, but for some reason it helps me focus on it. I don't know why. I did not help Orson make the multicam thing. He has shared with me a lot of information about it behind the scenes. He and I talk quite a bit about his projects and my projects, because we both think we're doing really cool stuff. I wish I had a part in that, but he partnered with the... remember, he mentioned it in his announcement video today. But remember the guy who made the competitor captioning template project thingy? That's words. You guys got really small because I moved you to my other screen. I can't make you bigger. There it goes. There it goes. Yeah, Tom. He's the genius who helped make the Snap. Is his thing free? Yeah, I think his thing is free. But yeah, Tom. Snap Pod. Oh, SnapPod is another company name too. I don't know if he knows that. Well, I think SnapPod is also like a vape company thing.
Hey, professional.
Yeah, who did he work with? Does it say in here? I don't have to watch all the way through his video, but let me see if I can just find the time code. Okay, here he is. Tom Mornay. I think is how you say his name. Genius guy. I definitely want to get it. Right now, he just did a pre-sale because he still needs money to finish the development. Because it is an expensive tool. I mean, one, it's like analyzing your audio with probably OpenAI, and is like then giving you back the information to like cut up all the clips, and it's really cool stuff, but not cheap to put together. Plus, he's using he's using something that I've never touched before, but I would want to learn. It's a different kind of plugin preset thing called workflow integrations. You might have seen this tab before. I'm going to show you something that maybe I shouldn't show you. I don't know. I don't know how Xsession would appreciate me showing this, but you can make like HTML based plugins like this. I have not tried Tom's captioning stuff. DaVinci might be releasing something like that in the future. Yeah, because they did recently add the ability to do detecting which person is speaking in their captioning thing or in the transcripting thing. But also, why haven't they added animated captions yet? Like, why? Why is the caption system so stiff? And why can't they do word by word captions? Like, what is going on with that? Like there's a lot of things that DaVinci could be releasing soon, but based off their track record, I don't feel like they will. Oh, I also got Accession's emoji thing. It is really sick. Accession did a really good job. I talked to him in his comments on that video for his announcement. He made a huge emoji pack with like, what was it, 600 plus emojis? All these. Huge fucking thing. And you can just drag them in. And it gives you some like color options, the thickness, which he calls amount. He doesn't natively speak English. Sometimes he chooses words that, as a native English speaker, I'm just like, that's a weird thing to put there. But that could also just be the control name that he used. You can even add a shadow to it. Super cool stuff in this. But he used a script. He used a Lua script to create these. I talked to him and he was like, yeah, I made this in like half an hour. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Whenever you put them in on the timeline, it's just black. It's been a minute since I've installed it. I don't remember how I installed it, but X is a really sweet guy. He's actually helped me out with a lot of scripting stuff. Before I learned scripting, he's the person who made the first version of Animutility, technically. He created a script that essentially just pasted the bulk standard Animutility into your comp, and then you renamed it, you put it on the control and everything yourself, and then I did everything else after I started learning scripting, and I was like, oh yeah, I can make this way better, and I did. No offense to X, he did what he could for doing it in like maybe 20 minutes. So in his instructions, I don't know if I have those. Let me go into my folders. I might have deleted his instructions. It has been a minute. I think I have a few macros that I still need to actually install. I find macros from people online and I'm like, oh, this looks really cool. And I never end up installing it. Yeah, looks like I did delete it. Let me see if I can just get it real quick from Discord. It's probably going to be a little bit far back in the Discord channels. X is also super supportive. He's a really cool guy. He's constantly supporting people in the presets channel in the DaVinci Resolve editor place. I'm really good at like saying words. If you haven't been able to notice. Let me see. How far back is this? Alright. Oh. 4,500 plus free icons from Mr. Accession himself. Let's look at the plugin here. Oh, that just takes me to his shop. Oh, he has 506 downloads on this. Good on him, dude. Prepare to get 507, because I'm gonna get it again. View content. Okay. He made a video to teach you how to install it. That's neat. Let me take a look at that. Let me see if I can show it to you. Because I don't know if it's easy to install. I wonder if that's why you're better at speaking live than me. I ramble a lot. Vision has some stuff on Reactor 2. Vision? Or Accession? Do you mean X? I don't know who Vision is. I didn't know X had stuff on Reactor. Alright, let's take a look at this video. Does it have music in it? No. Good. Let's watch this together. Okay, so you unzip that. Cool. Probably gonna wait 5 years for it to finish unzipping, because it's a lot of stuff. I have not seen Vision before. It looks like this video is new, because I don't remember getting this video when I downloaded the pack when I first got it. Yeah, so probably what you probably missed is moving this folder into the icons folder for Accession. Oh, I guess it's just done. Yeah, I don't know why you need that. Let's do some prying, everybody. Let's pry into his setting file. Why does it need images in the scripts folder? Oh, jeez. Ah, that's why. He's calling to the scripts folder. That makes sense. So that's probably why you don't see anything in his pack. Is you have to put... Here, I'll pull up the video again. To like pause it at that point. So after you've unzipped it, you install the DRFX like normal. I'm guessing I put in the wrong folder. I see art images in my tab. I just don't see anything. Yeah, in the effects manager, you should be able to see it. Did my music end? What's going on? I'm at, oh no, yes, keep playing. You have to take the icons folder. Or the entire Accession folder. Let's jump to where he highlights it. And you want to put your put the icons folder into this file path. And that is where it will sit. That's where all the images are going to sit for him to then access them with the macros. Or if you're on Mac, it's down here, I guess. If you need to find this really easily, by the way, what I like to do to find my roaming folder, do percent app data percent, and that just opens up the roaming folder. And then you're able to go into Blackmagic Design, DaVinci Resolve, Support, Fusion, and then here's all the, basically your templates folder. And this is where he wants you to put it. He wants you to put it in scripts, comp, X session, and then just put icons right there. And that's where he gets all the information from that. I thought he made it with like shape nodes, like doing like shape lines and stuff, but no, he just has a bunch of PNGs that he's using and using them in the script or using them in the macros. And he's using, yeah. He gets the outline, he gets the inside, puts them together, recolors them, and then the eroded dilate is the amount. That's why it says amount on the outside of the macro. And then you can add a shadow. Yeah. I guess it all makes sense. I don't know what this is, or this is. Oh, it's the drop downs for the shadow, and the drop down for the icon color, and the drop down. Oh, the other settings. Okay. There's animation. Okay. There's no animation. Okay. He has an animation node, but I don't see any animation in the actual macros. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe this is something that isn't meant to be there. Who knows? That happens sometimes. Yeah. Any more questions? Any other thoughts? I can only get it to show in the edit sub menu of the script menu. The edit sub menu of the script menu. Click the edit. This is very epic. This is Mario? Yeah, this is still Mario Galaxy. Oh, that's the final Bowser fight. So the secret project, the macro creator, goes in scripts, comp, and then you put the folder Fusion Pixel Studio, and then new macro creator, and this is where everything is going to go. So what you got, I believe, open up there here. Yeah, you got this folder, I believe. So you just like copy this and you put it into your comp, the scripts comp, and it should work just fine in there. And then you go make yourself Fusion comp, add your nodes, just a random text plus node. And then it should be like scripts, and then it should just show up right at the top, and then you should just find it from there. You won't be able to see script file creator. That's something else I made a while back. This was actually my very first script I ever made. I've only made, so here's some transparency. I've only made like 3 scripts before, not including the one I just made for Jake Whip. That was my 4th script I ever actually made. For the record, I'm not a genius. I just learn very quickly. So the macro creator is not an act of genius. It's just an act of hasty learning in ADHD. Well, I'm assuming you're meaning that you put it in scripts and then it went into edit here and then you put it into there by accident somehow. No, I have so many mess ups when I type these days. I keep missing S's and like different phrasings for words. I swear, I kept messing up my typing when I was talking to Jake, and I'm like, please don't think I'm an idiot. I just can't type well. If you have it in edit, I'm sure it would work fine. Like, these pretty much are just like, where in the context menu of the scripts dropdown is it going to show up? Like, things at the top are in utility, and then when you're in the Fusion page, everything is unpacked into here, and then you have edit for the edit page stuff. So yeah, to move it out of there, you just would go into edit in this folder, like cut the Fusion Pixel Studio folder, and then put it back into comp. That's all you have to do. Like, I'm sure it works fine, but it just is a matter of convenience of like, do you want to see it at the bottom of the list down here in edit, or do you want to see it up here at the top where you just can like easily hop into it? On that note, should I just remove the branding of Fusion Pixel Studio for the script, just for like ease of access for everybody? Because like I understand that like I obviously having your name in your like nest for your scripts is like nice, but also I want this to be really easy for people to access. I don't want to have to like have them dig through subfolders to get to the script. So like I might do just the new macro creator, like how Reactor does down here, and like just have like open, like just have like macro creator like this, like just that. Come back, like just this and then this stuff. That's my idea. Just to make it a little bit easier. That is true. I think the only issue with that is I think Reactor messes things up because Anime Utility is now in a different folder. Despite me being like 99% sure that these are spelled the exact same, Reactor just organized like my Anime Utility into a different folder. Despite it having the same name. For some reason it's just like, is it the same thing though? And for the record, I don't think that the macro creator will be on Reactor solely because it is going to be a fairly premium product. Have I mentioned to you guys like the plan for the like payment plans yet? I'm gonna definitely do that closer to release time. And I won't like get into the prices until release because I still want to like figure out those and make sure that they're good. But have I like mentioned like what the payment options are, like what you can get instead of just buying for the whole full priced tool? Okay. Let me go ahead and break down. Oh, did I? That was just my. Looks like I have a meeting with another YouTuber at some point in the coming week. So there's gonna be here. I'll go full screen just so I can talk to you guys directly. So there's going to be the full-priced, not Anime Utility, the full-priced new macro creator. That's going to be a fairly premium priced product. And then there's also going to be a light version of that that has the features that will help with speeding up your processes, like adding tabs and labels, bulk adding controls and reordering controls, and saving things as a DRFX and as a regular old .setting file. You won't have Reactor exporting save file exporting, and I'm debating on doing reopening of macros. I might include that just because it's another convenience feature, but also that might be too much of a premium item, and I might stick it with just staying with the premium version. The reason why I'm doing it, this is not going to be a free version by any means. It's still going to be 10 to 20 bucks. I'm still trying to figure that out. $10, $20 for those of you who aren't familiar with American lingo like that. Because it is definitely not weird. It's definitely not a regular way to say money. $10, $20. Because obviously, time is still a big factor, and that's definitely going to be the one that people are going to go to, I think, the most. Because I don't think everybody wants to be able to add every control under your mum, like under the sun or whatever. So there's still I want to make a bit of money off of that, just so it's not just completely a loss on my part. Because obviously I need to make back the money for the time I put into it, but also maintaining the tool is also something that I want to look at. I want to make sure to be providing updates for people's features that they want to have added and various things like that. But there's also going to be membership support plans. There's going to be a monthly meeting support plan that is going to be probably the best bang for your buck, because you get the tool and you get a monthly meeting with me talking over problems you're having with the tool, macro help, like one-on-one macro help, or macro ideas, going over maybe what you or your business is working on at the time when it comes to macros. I can either help talk you through my ideas of it, or give you some guidance, something like that. And there's also going to be a weekly version of that. You still get the tool, but instead of monthly meetings, it's weekly meetings, and this is a bit more expensive. This is for the companies who need really frequent communication with somebody, who have a lot of issues and aren't super familiar with making macros, or maybe really just need that extra helping hand. And then I'm also going to be doing a one-time payment call with me to talk about anything macros. It's not a support option necessarily, but it is talk about your macro ideas, give you macro feedback, help with any questions you have to do with making a macro for yourself or your business. I'll still be available to be answering questions in the Discord for any problems or any bugs you're experiencing with the macro editor, but I want to still offer one-on-one meetings as a more premium monthly payment option. And I will say, without giving away what the price is, the monthly meeting support plan will be your best bang for your buck, because within a year you'll pay the same amount that someone did for buying the full version all in one, and then you also get the monthly meetings with me. So I feel that's a good bang for your buck, in my opinion. But again, I'm the person who set this all up, and some of the stuff may be subject to change, but that's what I'm thinking of right now for how it's all going to work out, because I want to give an option to anybody who wants to get it to still have the ability to get it without completely breaking your bank. But I might make an even more stripped down version that's free. It's more like a teaser or a demo for people who want to get used to and figure it out. But yeah, I mean, obviously, give me your thoughts on that. That's just what I'm thinking about the payment options and the different ways to get the macro creator. I think it's fairly open for a lot of people. I definitely tried to replicate sort of what they do with DaVinci, where they have either a cheap/free option, and then they have the full version that's if you get the free option, then you're more likely to get the full version after you start making some money, because then you're oh well, yeah, this is a no-brainer now. It's kind of my thoughts, but let me know what you think. I'll definitely be thinking these things through, maybe changing a couple of things here and there about my plan as we go along. But yeah, there's that. Chat has gone quiet. Are y'all typing? Yeah, like I didn't want to just have like one rigid, hey, there's this really expensive item and you have to get it or else you're not getting it at all. Like I wanted to give a few options for people, because like obviously having a one-time, forever, lifetime membership is definitely ideal. Oh, no problem, Chad, you're fine. Like a super stripped down version that's free, then a middle paid version for like YouTubers, and then a premium version for like production house. Maybe that is possible, but I already have YouTubers who are very happy paying the full price. Like both Jake and Orson are both like, oh, absolutely, I totally pay the full price for this. It definitely is like a no-brainer. Because obviously they're like, oh, I can definitely make money with this. Like this is definitely something that we can make money with. So like, I mean, I feel like if you plan on selling tools and you know that you're going to make a profit, it's definitely worth it. Yeah, do not shortcut your time. Yeah. Like, I definitely don't want to have people overpaying for something that if I don't feel like they are. Like if I don't feel like it's worth it. Yeah. Also, a little bit of, by the way thing. On the Discord I did share. Yeah. Aspiring YouTubers for sure. I think that aspiring YouTubers will either be getting the monthly plan, because I think that's definitely the best option for them, because it's going to be like less than 20 bucks a month. That is true, Chad, yeah. So yeah, between you guys and me, in the wish list link that I sent to you on the Discord, which I'll also go ahead and send it real quick here. Let me copy the link to that. Did that send? Yeah. So if you fill out that link, and it will give you access to my email list. If you fill that out with some of the information, like about your business, about like your wants or needs, about the macro creator, and like what your expectations are, like just general questions, it will one help me gauge like what the price expectations are for this kind of tool, but you'll also be getting access to the email list, which will be sent a discount link, and the first 10 people to use that discount link can get the full version of the macro creator for free, or not for free, but half off. I mean, so the first people who use that link when it comes out will be able to get the macro creator 50% off. So go ahead and fill out those questions. Let me know some information about you and your business, and like kind of what you're wanting to use it for. Kind of random questions that I was like, hey, I want to get to know you guys a little more. This is probably the best way to do it. I mean, honestly, you can just like sell macros pretty easily online. I mean, I'm giving away macros for free, and people are still giving me like donations to get them for free. It's something that people just want to do sometimes, but also if you like make some pretty sick macros down the line, and like you actually like start, you know, practicing it, getting some like good designs in there, making things that people like are wanting to use in like videos, or especially if you like if you find like a niche of people, like certain like gaming editors really love super crazy like edits, definitely make an effect like that, and you can definitely sell stuff like crazy with that. And I'm maybe getting late for you, so I'll just ask one more question about the tool. What does the import image do exactly? Okay, yeah. Oh, I mean, like, you don't have to be super good. Trust me, people are selling tools that I think are below a good standard, but are still making good sales. Definitely camera shakes for Fortnite kids. You make that a bank with that, definitely. I want to create macros for clients that I edit for. Maybe one day I'll sell them, but first I want to create them for specific to clients. Honestly, Chad, that's what I do on like a daily basis. I guess not daily basis, but that is most of what my job is. To be honest with you, I learned how to create macros because my job was like, hey, you can do like VFX and like motion graphics, right? And I'm like, yeah. Let's make some titles and lower thirds and stuff like that. Any page you recommend to sell macros? I like Ko-fi. It's a really good place to get started on. Gumroad is also there. I don't like Gumroad a lot because you don't have. It's not a very pretty website. I hope a guy with some macros, not even knowing what I was doing, he'll sell 6 more macros for $80. Oh, you helped a guy who was, you know, there was a, I don't want to throw shade, but Shark from the Discord, his macros are iffy. I use Fourth Wall, so for the release of the macro creator, it'll be on 3 different sites, so it's like pick whatever you want, like pick your favorite pretty much. I have a fourth wall site where I'm hosting a bunch of information about me and my company and like what I do, which includes my shop. I have a Gumroad page that I'll be putting the macro creator on, and I also have a Ko-fi. Ko-fi is really good. It allows you to do memberships. People can obviously just donate to you randomly. It's really good for stuff like that. And it's also very popular for macro sellers right now. It's like the most popular one, I believe, at the moment. But you had a question. So the import image button on the macro creator. Let me get my screen so I can see what I'm doing over here. There we go. So what you can do, let's just make an alpha. You did start editing YouTube and made a short. Like you started with editing on YouTube and then you went to doing shorts? Is that what you're saying? I like long form content for me. I've tried shorts and they're good if you can make them funny or engaging. But trying to do educational content is not always great for shorts. People don't really care for it unless you can like unless it's like one quick tip and people are like super interested in this one tip. But the import image button, before I get too distracted. Oh yeah. It's once again, I think that shorts are hard. I definitely just prefer doing YouTube. Shorts is a whole different ball game of like learning how the algorithm handles them and like editing for that audience. If you want to do like YouTube shorts or like if you also want to post them to TikTok or Instagram, is there a different way that they interact with that stuff over there? All that kind of stuff. So import image will take whatever your active node is, so whatever node is in the red. When you click that, you're able to choose an image from your computer, and it has to be PNG. And recommended size of width is 300 pixels. And I personally recommend a height of around 50 pixels, give or take. Because if you make it bigger than that, it just is too tall of an image and it looks weird. You give your image a preview name. So I'm just gonna, this is the Jake Whip logo. Whip logo. And header image puts it in the like places above the tab names. So like in the, not here, but if you had like a media in node, I guess if you have a media in node that has content in it, hold on. We bring in an image up here where it has like clip name and global in and out. This is the area that the image is going to be in if you make it a header. But it will not show up on the node as a custom control. If you don't make it a header, it'll show up in the actual controls list in like just like a regular old control. So let's just make it not a header so we can see it in our user controls. So if we add it and go over to user now, we can see our image is in there. And it embeds it as base64, which you don't necessarily need to know too much about, but essentially it encodes it into base64. And then you can also then of course add that same image or a different image and then make it a header image, and there you go. The header image will apply to your macro as a user control when you export the macro, because the only way to get it onto the top part of the node is by having it as a user control on a node. You can't do an instance input and have it do that same thing. It has to be a user control. It's weird. I don't really know. But yeah, there's the importing the image. Now that's what that does. I'm also going to be adding a feature that will let you export a thumbnail image with your macro. So like if you look at Alex's stuff or even stuff that I've talked about in my own video, I don't have the images, but if you look at Alex's images down here, he has thumbnails for his. You're able to make your own thumbnails, and I'm gonna make an export screen for that. Yeah, I definitely need to make a better tutorial. I did add a tutorial in the tool, but it was a little bit all over the place, and I don't think I talked about everything. And I went over things a little bit fast. This tutorial here.
Hello and welcome to
It was like 11 minutes of like me stumbling over making a macro, finding things that were going wrong and crazy stuff like that. I'm gonna go full screen again, because you guys need to see a non-active screen. No problem, Sleeveless. It's been good to have you here. I'm glad you stayed the whole time, and hope I answered all your questions. If there's any more questions, I'd be happy to answer any, but if there's not, I will be heading out here pretty soon. It's already been 2.5 hours, and I am losing my voice. my throat is hurting me. You have a good night, Sleeveless. I'll catch you next week. Hey, no problem, Chad. I'm glad I can help out. And I'll be here hopefully every Friday. Sometimes, you know, depends. You know, it depends on whatever plans are outside of my control, or something may come up. Who knows? I might be sick one time or whatever. But yeah, I'm glad I can help you guys out, answer any of your questions. And I'm glad we can have these chats. I love being able to like make more of a community than just like me staring at that camera. Because it really feels like I don't show expression very well when I just do a video. But I'm glad I get to do these little live streams for people who want to like come out, say hi, ask questions, get to know me. So yeah, I'll see all of you guys next week. Have a good week. Enjoy the video if you haven't watched it already. And yeah, definitely fill out that wish list forum. It lets me know that you want to see it, and that will give you the option to get 50% off when it releases. Alright, bye. Have a good weekend.